Good morning, May YouTube family. This is Tuck. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of update on our little garden that we have planted back here. We mentioned we was going to give you an update on it every so often just to see the progress of it. The last time I showed you here, I showed you where I was actually planting the plants and everything that I was going to try to grow. And you can see now, after a few weeks growth and cultivation, that they are standing up pretty well. If you remember, I told you I got a late start on planting my garden this time. So a lot of places, people around here sometimes already have some of these plants and stuff that's already grown. They planted early enough that some of them, people have squash and stuff already. But as you can see, my collard plants, which is what I'm focusing on right here, right now in the front. As you remember, if you remember correctly, I told you that is probably this single plant that I have the most difficult time trying to raise here at my place is the collard plants, because of insects and things like that getting hold to them, and they just don't seem to do as well as a lot of my other plants do. And I've been, as I said, plagued with that already this year. I have put some 7 dust powder and stuff on them to eliminate bugs and things like that. But you can see on some of the foliage there, maybe where there are some holes and stuff on the leaves where insects and things have been getting to them. And we've been fortunate enough to have a little rain here lately, so that has helped us some too, and that keeps all this stuff wiped off and they keep growing back. But also I have tomatoes, and as I mentioned to you, I've already put cages around my tomatoes here lately. If you can look close enough, you see some of you may be able to actually see has a few tomatoes that's already budding up here on these plants, on some of them here. So we already beginning to produce some vegetables on that in small size. So far, some of the tomato plants are doing better than others. I have several different kinds of tomato plants. You can see this is a smaller one right here in this cage, and it's a different type altogether. And this is not growing as fast as the others are. But we're just going to see what it's going to do. And there's the other tomato plants. I have about, I don't know, about 6 tomato plants here. And if most of them grow, that'll be more than enough tomatoes for my family here. Because tomatoes are one thing that continue to reproduce. You pull them off and they'll continue to grow throughout the spring, summer, and into the fall as well. Up to a point there, they will continue to grow and produce. And right behind there is my pepper plants. And you probably can see that. I'm just walking around with my camera trying to get you a close up on some of the things that I'm planting and how they're doing. And you can see some of the peppers are up real well, standing good, and then you get 1 or 2 along that's kind of dormant and not doing as well. So I worked on them a little bit, and I put some additional soil and stuff around them, because you see this time I put this film out here, paper, to try to eliminate some of the grass and stuff in the plant, but also because I'm used to healing my plants and things like that and pulling dirt to them. So this way I have this here, now you got to put dirt around them as opposed to, so I'm putting potting soil or garden soil and stuff like that up around them to kind of build them up, and that helps build the roots and stuff up around the plants and stuff and make them stronger, and in turn they produce better fruit things. You see a couple squash plants there that's dormant, but right here on the back line that's on the ground here, you see I don't have the tarp and stuff around there. You can see where grass is growing up through those beans plants. Those are pole beans, and they are budding. If you can see, some of those got buds and stuff on them already, and in case they finna start producing beans and stuff as well pretty soon. And so I told you I had a couple pot plants, and that's 2 right there. That's a pepper, and you see they're doing quite well also, standing there. Now I had a 3rd plant, this bucket here that's empty right now, that had a cucumber in it, just like this one right here. That plant didn't make it, but this cucumber plant here, as you see, it's doing well. I have a trellis around it, it's growing. And if you can look right here, you can see that's a cucumber already on that one. So we are coming right along with this and trying to get it to produce us a little vegetables and stuff this summer, to have to have some actually fresh homegrown vegetables and things like that we usually like to try to do this in every summer. It's not necessarily trying to do it to save money, even though we do a lot of times, because you put a lot of time and effort into trying to grow these things a lot of time as well. But it's more of a comfort and relaxation. It's good to know that you can plant something in the ground with your own hands and just watch it grow and turn into something that's useful and that people can use, you know. And food sources is one of those things. And that's why we should all be in support of the farmers and people that are still doing that type of thing as a hobby or for a living, because that is truly getting to be a lost art in this country. And as you well know, and you probably heard a lot of our food sources and stuff now is coming from overseas, and that to me is not a good thing, because I remember the day back when I was younger. I mean, everybody and anybody you knew that was coming up in my part of the country where I live had some type of vegetable garden growing and had some type of a livestock and stuff growing that they had for producing meat. They had either had chickens, hogs, or both, and some cattle. Now, right now, I mean, I have a lot of family stuff now that still believe in that and have a lot of plants and things planted. I have quite a few uncles and aunts that are big time in growing gardens. I mean, they have an acre or two of peas, a half an acre or so of butter beans, then they have corn, and they have hogs, they have cattle, and the whole thing, even to this day. But you got to have the land space and everything to be able to do that. And most of that will be out in the country or the rural areas. So when you're in town, kind of like we have here, you don't have a whole lot of space to plant a lot of stuff. But what little space you have, you can take advantage of it and use it to plant and make you a few vegetables and things that will that you can use in your house. And we have expressed quite much on Maymay's channel. She have about using containers, pots, and things like that, planting tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, anything like that that you use that can grow in containers like that. If you got a patio, a little portable backyard, a porch, get you something, plant a few plants in, and you'll be amazed how well they would do in the kind of fruit and stuff you produce, and the difference in the taste of those that you would get when you plant them yourself as opposed to getting them from the store. So we just encourage you to continue on. You know, I can't say how well all of this is going to do, but I'm pleased with it thus far. It is doing as well as it is, especially as late as it is in the summer, and how the late start that I got on getting it going, because it gets pretty hot down this way, and I kind of keep it watered a little bit, and I keep fertilizer. Now I use a lot of Miracle Grow, the water soluble fertilizer. The price is like once a week on here. That's kind of spray it once a week with that. Then I'll come back and I have the Osmose time release fertilizer that I put on them as well, and that kind of keep them in between and put around the base of and stuff like that. And it just tends to help it grow. Now a lot has to do with growing vegetable stuff, has to do with Mother Nature, to do with the season, the weather, and everything like that. That's why I said if you have a little area, something you can use, you have a water hose nearby, you know, check on them and keep some water on them. That's the biggest thing with growing plants, is keep them watered and keep them fertilized, and keep rodents and insects and anything like that from them. And you should have something that you should be proud of in a few months that you can eat. Either tomatoes, you like salads, cherry tomatoes. You don't have to get the big tomatoes that grow that you need something to put a cage around them. Get cherry tomatoes, anything like that. Jalapeno peppers, cayenne peppers, just any kind of variety of peppers that you can get. Sweet pepper, banana peppers, bell peppers, all of that does well in buckets and containers and things like that. And we just encourage you to just do the best you can with it. This is just a quick update. Just want to let you see how we're progressing. And having a question or anything pertaining to it, just send the comments on Maymay's channel like you usually do, and we'll try to answer the best we can. Let's see my beans back down the back row. They're getting they're spreading out pretty well and getting thick looking. I'm kind of looking for them to start running by now, but they have not. And I just hope the package I had wasn't labeled wrong, that they actually bush beans instead of pole, the beans that would run up the fence. But either way, we're gonna make the best of what we have with them, and try to produce the fruit and vegetables that we can. I also have fruit, vegetables on these. And I see a lot of buds on those plants right now. It's indicating to me those usually where you'll find beans and stuff will be. Yeah, like I said, so we're gonna end this video now, just showing you a little footage of the garden, how we're progressing. And until next time, you all have a blessed day, and be sure to comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to Maymay's channel, and put that thumb up button on this. And if any of this helped you all, then we certainly glad that we was able to do so. Have a good day. Until next time. Bye.